when you've been assigned to vaccinate the population of an entire country, but there are some people who just will not get down with the program. People who, no matter what you say, what you do, or what incentive you put out there, just refuse to take the vaccine. Here in America, this represents somewhere between 19 to about 30% of the population, depending on how you do the numbers. And so, wouldn't it be nice if there was some way that the government could disseminate the vaccine quietly, in a way that people wouldn't even realize that they were getting vaccinated? That way, you can achieve your goal with minimal resistance. Well, if that's what you were thinking, you're in luck, because scientists over at Yale University have just taken a giant step towards making such a thing reality. This paper right here, that you can see up on your screen, was published just 2 weeks ago by researchers over at Yale University. The paper is titled "Polymer Nanoparticles Deliver mRNA to the Lung for Mucosal Vaccination." And what these researchers over at Yale were able to achieve is to develop a new airborne method of delivery for mRNA vaccines. Here is specifically what they wrote in their summary. Quote, "An inhalable platform for mRNA therapeutics would enable minimally invasive and long-targeted delivery for a host of pulmonary diseases. Here, we quote-unquote safe and effective, and they are now planning to test it in humans." Now, if you've been following the development of these aerosol-based vaccines, then you know that this Yale University study represents a significant leap forward in their development. In fact, the Yale School of Engineering and Applied Science, they put out a bulletin on this matter wherein they summarized the significance of this particular experiment in the following way. Quote, "It's a significant advance since scientists have had trouble creating lung-targeted mRNA therapies. Typically, these therapies have had poor a biocompatible and highly customizable polymer." Now, in the statement of theirs, they mentioned the Saltzman Group, named after one of the lead researchers in this Yale study, Dr. Mark Saltzman. And here is how he explained the findings as well as their significance in a separate statement. Quote, "In the new report, there is no intramuscular injection. We just gave 2 doses, a prime and a boost, intranasally, and we got highly protective immune response. But we also found that, generally, you can deliver different kinds of mRNA. So it's not just good for a vaccine, but potentially also good for gene replacement therapy in diseases like cystic fibrosis and gene editing. We use the vaccine example to show that it works, but it opens the door to doing all these other kinds of interventions." Professor Saltzman then added that, quote, "This new method of delivery could radically change the way people are vaccinated," adding that it could make it easier to vaccinate people in remote areas or those who are afraid of needles. And indeed, if this technology were to develop further, well, you can just imagine the compliance factor. Because you might get a lot of people taking the vaccine if you make it a prerequisite for them to keep their jobs. But you will get 100% total compliance across the board if the vaccine is delivered through the air, since at the end of the day, every single person needs to breathe.